the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour on tap in 15 minutes. A rookie report. Pauly mentioned a kid who could go off yesterday on our Sunday morning show. Boy, did he deliver. Warren Sharp on the program coming up in 30 minutes. The good, the bad, and the ugly at the back end of the program here. It's an absolute treat as professional sports bettor Paul Bovi joins the program. He's in studio today. Good afternoon, Paul. Good to see you again. How are you?
Great. Good to see you guys.
Let's start here, and we'll maybe dive into the Monday night game as well. You're a lifelong Giants guy. Boy, was that ugly yesterday. I said earlier, I've seen enough, not just based on one game, but Russell Wilson now 3+ years. He's completely cooked. He's done. I would make the move to Dart this week against the Cowboys. What say you?
Look, he is a horizontal thrower. I thought he would go to the tight end yesterday. He only went to Bellinger once. Theo, he went to once for 5 yards. But that's what he did for the last 2 years, and he's been discarded. I don't know. He's not the guy. But I didn't understand the support for the Giants because the one thing they have never addressed is that offensive line. Then you have the left tackle doubtful on Friday. So I didn't understand the move down to 5.5. I was huge on the under in this game. I gave it out in the Invitational. And I had a great day because of that. A great afternoon, I should say, because the evening did not end very well. But the Giants are very predictable at this point. They can't block for the quarterback. They didn't block for Barkley particularly well in 2018 when they drafted him. And, that's it. New York Giants.
Do you have any desire to back them this week against Dallas?
No way.
Okay.
Not with that offensive line. And if Thomas is not in there, forget it. Ilan Malor is not very good. Schmitz is not very good. And if you remember that opening Dallas game a few years ago, Daniel Jones got sacked 9 times.
That's right. 41-0?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts.
Coach him up. Week 1, last 3 years, outscored 89-12.
Oh.
It's ridiculous what's going on.
Did they beat Tennessee in week 1 his first year, D-ball? On the road?
Yes, they did.
Did they? Okay, good memory.
Yes, they did.
Good call. It's been ugly the last 3 years. The other thing, too, we mentioned it yesterday on the show. I didn't hear one person make the case for Washington in the last month after the Giants won the Super Bowl in the preseason.
Yeah.
How about the Jets? What a job offensively.
Yeah.
I can't believe what they did to Pittsburgh and just gashing them on the ground. And then that turns into one of the most entertaining games of the day. What do you think of the Jets' perspective now they're taking on Buffalo?
Gashing was the right word. I mean, they had their number on the ground, that opening drive. They made a statement. They lose the game, 34-32, and they shut down Pittsburgh's running game. I feel bad for these poor, beleaguered Jet fans who have gone through this. I watched that 69-70 Super Bowl, and you figure, okay, they're going to be back one day. Well, it's just been heartache after heartache, but they did an excellent job. There was synergy on offense, field 16-22. And then the ground game was working. So I like them this week over with the Bills. I got a good number, 44.5, -06, 45. The Bills allow 10 yards per play. I mean, what's that all about? So it's hard to bet this game under, especially considering the Jets, how good they looked on offense. You got Josh Allen. You got a Bills defense now, which is raising a lot of questions at this point.
Absolutely. That was ugly. What else worked for you yesterday? Why it was such a good afternoon?
What worked? I'll tell you what worked, and I got to thank you for it. You made mention on the show yesterday about Daniel Jones running, and I remember. So I went right into the account. 24 yards. Beautiful. I'm gonna play it. And he was sitting at 26, and I'm saying, man, I've had such bad luck with Daniel Jones. Watch this guy take a knee and go under and, back up. But he landed at 26. You crushed the guy yesterday. Daniel Jones, 200 yards passing in the first half. I've defended this guy for the last 5 years. He does not handle pressure well, but if you give him protection, that's how he scored the bag with the Giants a few years ago.
Okay, as a guy who's been doing this for a long time, how much do you take away from a week 1 performance like that from Indy's side, but also with Miami? Like, what do you do? You can't really go nuts and completely overreact, even though Miami looked like the worst team in football yesterday.
Miami had 210 yards of offense, and 100 of it came on the last drive or in the last 2 drives. It was as bad or worse than it would appear on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Jones, 200 yards in the first half?
Yeah.
When does that happen? It was just, and we all know, I'm sure you guys have discussed it, they scored on their first 7 drives. It was just a joke. And the Dolphins, lack of protection, the defensive back, storm duck back there, they can't guard guys. And Daniel Jones, precision-like passing, he controlled the offense. I don't know how it's going to look this week when he gets some pressure, but give him credit out of the box week 1.
No preparation. And horrendous that you have to come out if you're McDaniel and say, "Oh, I didn't know it looked like it, but we put a lot of work in and actually practiced."
They look wildly unprepared.
It's like they just showed up and decided to play together. 12 men in the huddle, turnovers, 43 yards first half. Indy ran 43 plays.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
It's crazy. And Indy lost a couple guys on the offensive line, as you know, to Minnesota. So, if Daniel Jones did not figure to get protection, and he did.
What do you think tonight? Yep. Interesting game. 1.5 point move to the under in this game.
Okay, so we all know Williams was bad last year. I'm going to use the word bad. I'm going to be kind. And he didn't get better because the last 5 games, 3 of the games, he was 148 yards passing or less. But no team in the league has done more work on their offensive line than the Chicago Bears. And we all know they brought over Ben Johnson. They bring over on the offensive line Jonah Jackson, Tooney, and Talmadge at center. All 3 of these guys are top ranked in terms of pass protection, as well as on for the run. So their receivers aren't great, but I figured there's going to be a massive upgrade in Chicago's offensive performance. The question beckons, what's going to happen on the defensive side? Because there's 2 guys in the secondary that are questionable. Jalen Johnson and Kyler are questionable. Edwards is out. So this is a tough spot for McCarthy on the road to start off with. I mean, there is no doubt, and I would lean to the Bears, but the caveat is you got to watch what happens with respect to the injury report and these guys in the secondary, because if both guys are out, I'm backing off. 14 passes defended combined last year.
Jalen Johnson is thought of as like completely elite in the league.
Yeah.
He's one of the best there is.
Exactly.
And then how much do you take away from what happened yesterday to Jared Goff and the Lions? That offense did not look the same. 1 game without Ben Johnson now, and can that be correlated into tonight's matchup?
I take a lot away because, the wide receivers had less than 100 yards of receiving. St. Brown had 45, and then it was scattered amongst 3 or 4 other guys. It was all Laporta. It was just a dink and dunk offense.
Yeah.
And if you back out the 25-yard completion to Laporta and the 45 and the other one to St. I'm sorry. If you back out, there were 2 completions in there that totaled 70 yards. Let me put it to you that way.
Okay.
And if you back out those completions, he was under 5 yards per attempt. That's not very good. I take a lot out of it. Apparently, the retirement of Ragnow is definitely going to have an effect. The offensive line didn't look great. This just did not look like the same team.
Okay. So you're going to wait to see what the injury report's going to look like before you make a bet. And if those guys are good to go, you're going to be on the Bears.
I'm going to be on the Bears.
Okay. And you said that you bet the Jets-Bills over 44.5 minus 6 cents, over 45 minus 112 you bet it at. That you moved the number. You were part of the move anyway today. 45. Would you play 45.5 over, or is that too key of a number?
Okay. There are certain numbers which play with your brain. Okay. Team totals 24.5.
Yep.
I just don't like to do it. 17.5, because you got to get to 18, 19, 20. 45 on the total is the key number. We all know 24-21 is a real possibility. Same with 51, 27-24. So in answer to your question, when I look at the board, I'm looking for value. And there was value there. Do I like the game? Yes. When value and what I like line up, I'm going to press the button. And that was the case in this situation.
Okay. You have a couple of college bets as well. You bet Duke over 52.
I bet Duke over 52 right here. I think it's sitting at 53.5 right now. They moved a full point on, a dime. Menza did what he wanted last week. I mean, they brought him over from Tulane for a reason. 23 of 34, 334. The team went up and down the field. It was a very sexy pick yesterday in the Invitational, just like the Giants were. I was on that sexy pick. Unfortunately, they turned the ball over 5 times and just couldn't get in the end zone. But on the other side, Altmaier was 22 of 31 for 284. He posted a 180 rating, which if you look at his career, he's only exceeded that twice. Once again, against Eastern Kentucky. So this is a guy that can definitely, in Mensa, move the ball up and down the field. But I question this Duke's defense. And as far as Tulane, they brought over the transfer from BYU, and he's pretty good. They gave up 31 to South Alabama. And, I just think it's going to be points.
Good job, Paul. The VSiN Average Joe contest from Edge Boost, all about the weekly prizes. Each week you make 7 picks, NFL or college. Highest score that week cash is $500. If you already have an Edge Boost account, they double it to $1,000. And while you're chasing the wins, you'll be in the mix for the big quarterly prizes, airfare and hotel at Circa, in-studio spot on a show, free to play. Enter anytime this season. VSiN.com/Joe. Thanks for the incredible response. Go get him. VSiN.com/Joe.
By the way, you can follow him on X at Paul Bovi. Up next, a rookie report, and one guy that Pauly mentioned yesterday who had a great game.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Talk to Warren Sharp coming up in 15 minutes. Some week 1 observations from him, and he has a prop, I think, tonight for the Monday night game between, this is a good one, by the way, really good one, Vikings and the Bears. I read Zach Cohen's write-up at vsin.com. It is awesome, filled with great information. I highly recommend you go check it out today. I also tweeted it out earlier on, and he said he's been looking forward to this game more than any other on the schedule. And he goes, I get it. I know what we had last night, Sunday night. We had the Bills-Ravens, but he specifically wants to watch this game, and he has a couple of bets on it as well that are up at vc.com.
This is if the Bears win, if the Vikings win, I'll buy you a beer.
That's right.
Come on down.
You still the entire country, at least one cold one, I think, for that one.
They need to help me with the drink tickets. So O'Connell's been great as a road favorite ATS, and they've owned Chicago. Interested to see what McCarthy's going to look like and what Johnson and this offense is going to look like. Can't wait for this one tonight.
Okay, so new to the show, just tuning in, and you didn't know, Pauly and I are doing Sunday mornings as well. Or if you found the show again in the afternoons, you used to listen in the mornings. Well, we're going to go back on Sundays now. Started yesterday. We're going to do it every Sunday during the football season. It's 9 to noon Eastern time, 6 to 9 out here. On the show yesterday, it was a lot of fun. You brought up a rookie tight end that you wanted a part of, and it was Tyler Warren. And the kid absolutely crushed it. He saw 8 targets. Check that, 9 targets. He hauled in 7 catches for 76 yards. And to expand on that, he ran 73% of routes, 31% of targets he saw as well. His overall numbers, when you break it down, were outstanding as a rookie tight end. That's a guy that you're going to want a part of. And our guest in the first hour of the program today, Nick Whalen, said you could tell by the first drive or two that dude belonged on the football field. He made an impact right away with Daniel Jones as his quarterback. I think there's going to be a connection here.
Yep. Absolutely. He was off to a great start. And the other thing, DraftKings unveiled a new market this season. Most receiving yards, tight end. Bowers got there as he had 8 for 103 before he left with an injury. But Warren wasn't that far off, and that's a fun market to track and look at. And Warren had 9 for 76. Laporte edged him out by a couple yards. But a hell of a debut for that kid and a great performance by the Colts. But he is a guy you got to be on moving forward. And I could see him being like a McBride-type guy in terms of he's going to have like 7 or 8 a game receptions for 80, 90 yards.
I can't wait.
it.
This like next game,
Yeah.
right? They get the Broncos, elite defense. So his number was in the mid-30s yesterday. How high do you go? I don't think you can make it too big against this Broncos defense. But if it's they're not going to go to like 48 or anything crazy. I can't imagine. That would be a huge adjustment. But
I could see it, though. I mean, you got to get rid of the ball quick. Plus, they have great covers, not a lot of time to throw. I'm not going to take shots down the field. It's going to be quick. Let me go 5 yards, 6 yards, and find my tight end and my security blanket.
yeah, Travis Hunter, number 2 overall pick, ran a route 82% of the time yesterday for Jacksonville. He saw 8 targets, brought in 6 catches, 33 yards, and 29% of the targets went his way as well. I don't know. Lawrence didn't look very good to me again yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair. Waylon said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not betting Travis Hunter to win Rookie of the Year, but I think he can have pretty good numbers. And against certain defenses, I think throughout the year is a guy that you're going to probably want to bet. Although Carolina's defense is absolutely terrible, he didn't do much in his first game.
A couple of things. Number one, you got to watch our show every Sunday. You're not going to get better information, actionable info, and rapid fire stuff for 3 hours. I go home after the show. I put on Erin Andrews, and she's talking to Russell Wilson about the long journey from going to NC State to Wisconsin to Seattle. Who cares? We got 4 weather games here, and then Fox is just a bunch of grab ass. I can't. They're also showing what the players are wearing coming into the arena.
6 guys on a panel.
I mean, what
they
are
don't
we
get
doing
to say
here?
anything. It's all garbage.
Yeah, no better info than what we do on Sundays. The other thing is the red zone now. We're going to focus on every single Travis Hunter. They were breaking away to just show a 4-yard reception.
Were they really?
It was unbelievable.
I did not watch 1 second of the red zone yesterday.
It wasn't bad till they started doing. And of course, you know what they did on the back end. They focused for the first 20 minutes on the Packer game, which everyone's watching. It's the national game, right? We got other stuff going on. 49ers in the red zone. Hello.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. You just don't think it's either enough routes or enough playing time. Can't get there with Travis Hunter.
He'll have enough routes, but I just don't. Man, Lawrence has got to prove it to me here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weapons too.
He really does. Yes.
Interesting debut from Genty. New England sold out to stop the run. I thought Chip Kelly didn't run the ball enough. He did have the touchdown, but then again, it was all about passing. Every time Geno drops back, the whole team's open.
Right.
Myers, Bowers, Mayer. I mean, he's got so many weapons, what he had. Yes, they have weapons. You finally see it when you have a good quarterback.
No kidding. He cleared 300 yards, no problem.
So far, so good. I know it's only one game, but full marks to our guy, JT the Brick, who said this is a completely different, professional, buttoned-up outfit now with Carroll and the new GM, and Chip Kelly is the OC. Everything's different, sounds different, looks different, will be different. Good job getting the win. Excited for the Monday night game against the Chargers.
Genty's going to have some monster games this year. Captain Obvious checking in. But he got 86% of the rushing attempts by the Raiders yesterday. He saw 87% of the snaps. 19 carries overall for 38 yards. That's not great, but he'll have games, again, where it's going to pop and look way better than that.
Yeah.
Also, 2 catches on 2 targets for only 2 yards. But there is that. Ted McMillan ran 88% of routes for Carolina. 27% of targets. He had 9 overall, 5 for 68. But Bryce Young was terrible again yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk to Warren Sharp about that coming up in about 10 minutes. Here's my guy.
Oh, yeah.
But this will change because they're going to have guys coming back. But at least for 1 week, Emeka Egbuka, he ran 97% of Tampa Bay's routes yesterday. Hello. Only got 21% of targets, 6 overall. But man, did he make it count. 4 for 67 and 2 touchdowns. He is now either the 3rd or the 4th shot, depending on the book, to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But Mayfield's going to put up really good numbers in this offense. As long as Godwin's not there and McMillan's still going to be out for a little while, feed Egbuka more, please, every single week. Because he's running 97% of routes. The guys taking it behind him in the draft, Matthew Golden, only ran 57% of routes. Jaden Higgins taken early in the 2nd round by Houston. Now, there's going to, they have to have somebody step up here, but Kirk's going to come back. Higgins only saw 41% of routes yesterday. And then what happened with R.J. Harvey? Only 31% of snaps yesterday. He only had 6 carries. He ran for 70 yards, and he only saw 1 target in the air. What was going on with Denver's offense? Bo Nix looked terrible. Hello, second-year regression.
John Payton was terrible, too.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know what he was. The quarterback sneak, never had a chance. The decision not to kick it through the end zone before halftime.
Oh, my Lord.
You're in Denver. Kick it through the end zone.
Yes.
You handed him 3 points. And then what's the 4th down stuff? Why not try the 53-yard field goal or just go shotgun and pooch punt it? And you ran that crazy fourth down play and actually gave Tennessee a chance.
So I can't wait to hear what a couple of coaches are going to say this week. One would be Peyton, if he talks about R.J. Harvey. The other one is going to be Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Caleb Johnson, a lot of hype on this kid. Third round pick out of Iowa. 1 carry for -2 yards. He played 4% of snaps. He ran 3% of the routes. Like I didn't even know he was in the game until he got that carry late in the third. I think it was late third quarter.
See, this is the thing I'm afraid of when you get a young guy in there. These coaches are old school, and you got to earn it. We're not going to give it, right? Look what happened to Gordon, although they were getting blasted.
Yep.
He only had 2 carries, and then Scatterboot, and they got him to carry down there short, but he got stuffed. How was he not? How do you not put Cam in the game and give him the ball 4 times at the 1-yard line?
Did you see that screen pass that he caught? He's out wide. He put his head down, barreled over 2 defenders.
Yeah. That's
going to translate to the NFL level to some extent. He was a battering ram for his days in Arizona State. And here's the guy down the list, Harold Fannin.
Love him.
65% of routes, 22% of the targets overall. He had 9 targets, and he had 7 catches for 63 yards. I'm not going to take a flyer on him for Rookie of the Year. He was 200-1 before yesterday. Now he's like 80-1 because a tight end has never won the award. But overall, man, what a great sign for him. I have him like in 3 of I have many fantasy leagues. I have him like in 3 of them.
You should bet him because Nick Whalen might be right. They're going to trade Njoku.
Well,
and how about Tyreek Hill being dealt? How about Tyreek Hill on the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Okay.
That is not going to end well. I mean, he's not going to want to be there when they're losing. He's not getting the ball. So I hope it just.
Well, and the Steelers are all in, right?
They all are. This is it. Rodgers is there 1 year, and they mentioned that several times on the broadcast. They're all in this year. Fake cappers are everywhere, lying about their records and scamming bettors. For the first time, there's a real solution, Juice Reel, the trusted marketplace for buying and selling picks with total transparency. On the app, every seller syncs their sportsbook account, so their full betting history is imported directly from the books. No screenshots, no fake records, no hype, just facts. The days of inflated profit claims are over on Juice Reel. You can tail proven winners or get paid when others tail you. Download Juice Reel today, REEL, Juice Reel. Go get it today.
Up next, Warren Sharp, Week 1 observations, and a prop that he's looking at tonight between the Vikings and the Bears on Monday Night Football.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time now to head out to the Progressive guest line. Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Warren Sharp joins the program now. You can follow him on X. He is at Sharp Football. The website is sharpfootballanalysis.com. And right now, you can get 50% off weekly packages when you use the code VSIN50. That's sharpfootballanalysis.com. Use the code VSIN50. Warren, good afternoon. Thanks for the time. Good to see you again here. You joined us twice yesterday on the Sunday morning show as well. Let's begin with what you observed with the Detroit passing game and Jared Goff, Week 1 here with no more Ben Johnson calling the plays.
It was a big factor. I mean, they obviously couldn't run the football. I shared some of those stats out on X about how the run game was nowhere close to what we were getting from this team last year. But I was more interested in the passing game. Specifically, Ben Johnson really increased Jared Goff's under center rate. His play action usage rate made everything look the same and allowed Jared Goff to have a lot more success throwing the football down the field. And when I'm looking at some of these numbers, Jared Goff held the ball in the first half of the game over 3 seconds on 50% of his dropbacks. He had the 5th lowest pressure rate, and yet he still averaged only 1.6 air yards per attempt in the first half. Think about that. 1.6 air yards for this offense with one of the lowest pressure rates in the NFL. Did not make any sense. Why you're holding the football for that long, you're not being pressured, and yet you're averaging just 1.6 air yards per attempt. Those things don't typically go together. That just feels like a quarterback who's not very comfortable. Now, obviously, we have to put some credit to the Green Bay Packers defense, some of the things they did, but they played very little man, sat back in zone, didn't put a lot of pressure, didn't bring a lot of blitzes, and Jared Goff just didn't know what to do with the football and was just dumping it underneath for very little gain. And when you don't have that run game, which never got established correctly, it was a problem. So I just don't know what we're going to get out of this new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of time to make adjustments, and they have good players on that roster, but they're going to have to make some of those changes soon because, as we remember, this Detroit Lions team plays the third toughest schedule of opponents this year.
Yes, we were expecting changes with the Giants, although Dable's going to go back with Wilson in week 2. What'd you think of their O-line and the issues at the goal line?
Look, this statistic is pretty mind-boggling to me. They had 8 plays inside their opponent's 3-yard line, and the total gain was -1 yard on those 8 plays. They wound up with 3 total points by kicking a field goal. They have the worst offense inside of the 3-yard line of any team in the NFL over the last 3 years. So unfortunately, yes, it was terrible in week 1. It cost them. They were down 7-0. They had first and goal at the 8. Lost 2 yards, got down to the 2-yard line on a scramble, got an automatic first down due to a penalty on the Commanders' defense, and then 3 plays, gained nothing, and then they came back in the fourth quarter, did the same thing. They were down in the 3-yard line, 4 straight Russell Wilson incompletions. I just don't know. This team consistently does 2 things that just infuriate me. They do not start games well. They cannot score points in the first quarter of games, which sets them up to be playing from behind consistently. And they cannot score points down inside of the red zone. And when you're a team like this, which scores the fewest percentage of points from outside of the red zone of any team in the NFL, you have to be good inside of the red zone. You have to be consistent. And when you get them to the 3-yard line and you can't score on 8 plays, I mean, it's absurd. So the New York Giants, Russell Wilson clearly isn't the right guy for them. Putting a quarterback like him behind an offensive line like that, it's just not going to work out at this stage in his career. I don't know when we're going to see Jackson Dart, but I think that timeline just got sped up.
Well said. Absolutely. Totally agree. How about how Carolina struggled so much and what Bryce Young looked like? What was your takeaway from that performance?
Unfortunate, gross. Like Bryce Young averaged 4.4 yards per pass attempt. This offense struggled massively. This was something that I was predicting heading into the season, heading into last season. After what I saw from him, his rookie season, it didn't look good. This past year wasn't great. I wasn't expecting a lot coming into this third year, but some people were expecting the Panthers maybe a dark horse from the NFC South. I looked at quarterback performance in the first half when quarterbacks were not being pressured. So forget garbage time in the third, fourth quarter, especially in this game when it was a blowout. Look at the first half and look at when the quarterback was kept clean. Let's see how good these guys are with the script, with the design offense. Bryce Young, out of 30 qualifying quarterbacks, when clean in the first half, dead last in EPA, dead last in success rate, dead last in yards per attempt, dead last in passer rating. He was averaging 3.6 yards per attempt in the first half when kept clean. How do you average only 3.6 yards per attempt when you're not even being pressured? Then there was that shot of him like watching this helmet game on the Jumbotron at the stadium during a timeout when they were losing. I just, I don't buy Bryce Young, and that's a problem that's getting old quickly.
So I was actually, when I read your preview book, I did not see that one coming. Just because it's like, okay, we watched it and it looked like it improved a lot last year for Bryce Young and they were scoring. And when I read your book on Carolina, it's like, pump the brakes, guys. Like, it's not that good. And when you dove into it, it was like, wow, that's pretty telling, actually, when you go and look at all the numbers underneath the surface.
Yeah, I have another stat here. In 29 career starts for Bryce Young, the Panthers have led at halftime just 5 times. That is the lowest of any qualifying quarterback since 2000 in terms of total leads in his first 2 years or percentage of games that he's led at halftime. So he just plays too poorly early on, and it causes his team to fall behind. And I'm a big proponent of playing from ahead to build leads so that you have more options at your disposal in the second half of games so that you can be unpredictable. That's just not the case for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. And that stretch where he played really well last year was against the easiest schedule of opposing defenses that any quarterback faced.
Warren, what did you make of the numbers that Aaron Rodgers put up and when you did a deep dive on that and how it looks maybe moving forward here in this passing offense with Arthur Smith and also Mike Tomlin as the head coach?
Yeah, let's share a little bit of positivity. I can't be negative for everybody. So I was obviously impressed, as I'm sure most people were. But my biggest question heading into the pairing of Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith is, how will they coexist? It's not a hand-picked coordinator. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to do some things that he might not be comfortable with, utilize more play action, utilize outside the pocket passing. And in fact, he did. He had some of the highest rates in recent years. He had the highest play action rate of the last 4 seasons. He had the highest outside the pocket throw rate of the last 4 seasons, but he dominated throwing outside the pocket, averaged plus 0.8 EPA per attempt through 3 touchdowns outside the pocket. Play action, he was 8 of 10 for 101 yards, 3 touchdowns when using play action, his most touchdown passes off of play action in a decade. So I was very impressed with the pairing and how well it worked together. The thing is, Aaron Rodgers does not like to take hits. So he's getting rid of the ball very quickly and very short. And that's what he did here in Pittsburgh as well on early downs. 4.8 air yards per attempt, second lowest of any quarterback, 2.3 seconds time to throw, fourth lowest of any quarterback. But they still had a great design from Arthur Smith to get a lot of yards after the catch on those underneath passes. So it remains to be seen once opposing defense coordinators start to recognize what Arthur Smith is doing with Aaron Rodgers, if they can try to pull back some of that from him and give the benefit to the defense again. But for right now, they definitely were playing really well with this new style of offense.
How about a prop tonight for Monday Night Football, please?
Adam Thielen's longest reception under 15.5 yards. Adam Thielen apparently is going to be used exclusively from the slot tonight in 3 wide receiver sets, according to Ian. I think it was Tom Pelissero, actually. And 21% of Thielen's catches over the last 2 years have gained more than 15 yards. So this prop was at 16.5 earlier today. We bet the under there. Still a 15.5 everywhere. And that's still a good number, in my opinion. I just don't know how often he's going to be on the field, how often he's going to be targeted. And then, of course, there's the game script and everything else that comes with it. So I know his total yards is a good look as well. Some people were betting that. They got some better numbers that exist in the market right now. I want to say like 34.5, 33.5. They went under that. I kind of prefer the under on the longest, though, at 15.5 right now.
Oh, very good. Again, the kickoff sale is going on right now. Get 50% off weekly packages when you go to Warren's website, sharpfootballanalysis.com, and you use the code VSiN50. Warren, great stuff. Pleasure talking to you again. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There you go. He's also on X at Sharp Football, and he joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line.
VSiN Pro delivers real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits so you can see where the public and sharps are putting their money. The morning email from Bill 80 recaps every best bet, every host, every guest. The 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. All the pro tools and the prop analyzer at VSiN.com. Everything you need to stay ahead of the game all season long. The website's awesome. All the articles that are up there. The Mackinnon betting systems. Great stuff up there with Adam Burke with Week 3 college football already. Sign up now, just $9.99, or save 50% with an annual subscription. VSiN.com/subscribe today. VSiN.com/subscribe.
We're going to dive into the Monday night game coming up in about 20 minutes here between the two of us. We'll go over some touchdown numbers to look at tonight. And again, we'll tie in Jared Goff, what it looked like yesterday and in previous years. You know, Ben Johnson, fingerprints all over that dude, obviously, and then with Caleb Williams going tonight. Up next, maybe the NCAA needs to investigate this head coach, the good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The good. Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. The bad.
I've had it with this dump. Got no food, got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
And the ugly.
First of all, that's horrible.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
The good, the bad, the ugly, brought to you by SharpPlays.com. Get the latest betting insights and analysis now. SharpPlays.com. The good, Oklahoma. Nice win at home against Michigan. Very good performance defensively. How much was it good defense or bad Underwood, who only completed 9 passes and a lousy Michigan offense? One big play on the running game, and that was it. But I love Mateer. I will say easy with the runs. 19 carries for your quarterback?
He's going to get mauled.
I know, that's
the
too
way
much.
that he runs.
That's too much. But a nice win for the Sooners. And over and getting in the playoff looks pretty good to the start of the season. They should blow out their opponent Saturday.
How about a big number to win the SEC?
All right.
Or you can bet him to make the SEC title game.
Yep. How good was Herbert on Friday night? What a performance. The rushing, opening it up, taking off, the beautiful throws, getting everyone involved, played clean football. Great performance by Herbert. And finally, they exercised the demons and beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs finally lose a one-score game. I can't believe how easy it was, 3rd and 15, just to pick up the 16-yard scramble. And I know it's been all anti-Miami, and rightfully so. You got to give some love to the opponent, and that's the Colts, who became the first team since 1977 to score on their first 7 drives. Dimes was great. Whole team was great. To put it in perspective, Miami first half yards 43. Colts ran 43 plays. Great job by the Colts, and a nice win to honor Irsay.
Well said. My good from the weekend, I'll start in the college ranks. How about FSU? Now, I get the competition. East Texas A&M? I didn't even know that they were a program until this year started. But to take them out like they did, 729 yards, no letdown spot whatsoever after they thrashed Alabama. This might be doable. Look, they play at Virginia coming up, which they're going to be a little pesky. Mm-hmm. They get Miami at home. They're at Clemson.
Oh,
they're at NC State, at Florida. Well, I mean, what did Florida look like over the weekend?
Yeah.
And how many, they're scheduled, they could have like 3 wins at the end of the season, the way it's going for that team in their schedule coming up.
Yep.
So this team might be like in the mix, ACC obviously contender, and beyond that, maybe a playoff team again, or in that mix for a playoff spot later on this year. The Raiders, awesome debut here with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith.
Yeah.
389 yards overall, 21 first downs. Geno, 24 of 34. He threw for 362.
The 3rd and 20 pass was awesome.
Oh, very good.
Great catch, too.
But like getting Bowers involved, 5 for 103. Myers had 8 for almost 100 yards. And Genty didn't even do much, and you know his numbers are going to get better as the season goes on. So that was fun to watch. I think it's more interesting when the Raiders are actually a good football team in the NFL.
No doubt.
Also, the game featuring Rodgers and Fields, good for both guys. Rodgers, 4 touchdowns, 244, with a 136.7 overall rating. Now, his average depth of target was very short, and there was a lot of yak yesterday. But he also made a couple of throws. It's like, that looked like old Aaron Rodgers to me. And Justin Fields, man, tip of the cap. He looked the part yesterday in that offense, making good throws, 218 overall, 48 on the ground and 2 touchdowns. And dead wrong. I said before the season they're going to be in the mix for the lowest scoring team. 1 week into the year, forget about it. My bad, the Texans O-line. The Rams had 3 sacks. Chubb was able to run 60 yards on 13 carries, but they have to have a healthy Christian Kirk. Otherwise, like Nico Collins, I think I saw the lowest target share of his career yesterday. Jaden Higgins, they took in the 2nd round. Jalen Noel in the 3rd round. Like, they're going to need to pop. They don't have a lot of weapons here offensively to help out C.J. Stroud, a guy who's probably going to be running for his life anyway. Oklahoma State, and what happened to them against Oregon.
Oh! Minus 73.5 in play on the Ducks.
Did you see the halftime numbers?
No.
The score at halftime was 41-3. It was 17 first downs to 5, but it gets worse. Yards, 473 to 123. Oregon had 238 on the ground, 235 passing at halftime. They were averaging 13.8 yards per pass and 12.5 yards per carry the first half. Oh, my God.
You remember the Sopranos episode when they're at the construction site and the guy he hits him in the face with the pipe and Vito yells, "Keep your mouth shut! Get him to the hospital and keep your mouth shut." What is Gundy doing? Running his mouth and talk about that. Okay, we're going to run a score up on you then, buddy.
It has gotten away from him there.
It has. My bad. Did you see what Mike Vrabel did yesterday? Bad performance by the Patriots. They lose the game down 2 scores with 4 minutes left in the game at midfield He punted.
Yeah. They gave up on the game. He gave up on the game.
Yes. And that was all she wrote.
I would
the
be
third down
livid
and 20. Yeah, they
if I'm a
converted the
Patriots
third down.
fan.
I couldn't believe he did that. Oh, horrible job by Vrabel. And the Browns. The factory of sadness continues. A 324-1 straight up run in week 1. Burrow throws for 113 yards. The Browns had allowed 7 yards in the second half. They lost the game. And again, they let Hopkins go. They bring in the new kicker who misses an extra point, and he misses a 36-yard field goal, and they lose the game by how? They lost 17-16 to the Bengals. Ridiculous.
There was also back-to-back passes when they were driving. 3rd down and 4th down to turn the ball over on downs. Flacco hit, I think, Fannin, then Judy. One of the passes wasn't exactly like on point, but both catches should have been caught. Both passes should have been caught, I should say. They dropped them both.
And then the fluke interceptions.
Yeah.
The guy couldn't hang on to. The ugly, the Dolphins. Again, 43 yards at halftime, -3 in the turnovers, 20 minutes time of possession, 12-man in the huddle penalty, not ready to play. Ugly. So bad. And I think Tyreek Hill is a matter of time before they move on from him, or he says, get me out of here. The Giants again, last 3 week 1 games, they've been outscored 89-12. As Warren said, 8 plays inside the 3. They settled for 6 points during the game. Horrible performance. When Wilson was under duress, 2 of 12 for 26 yards. And the Titans, 4 takeaways, resulted in only 6 points, 133 yards of offense, 131 penalty yards. Plus the decision by Callahan and the offensive coordinator. You're backed up with a rookie quarterback right before halftime with a minute. Denver only has 2 timeouts. They go pass, help them out, sack. They got a punt from the end zone. Denver gets a short field. They cash in and score a touchdown. You handed them a free 7 points. Horrible job.
Wait until you hear the comments from Titans head coach Brian Callahan coming up at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time here on the program. You're going to ask yourself, this guy has a job in the NFL? How? My ugly. I'm not even joking with this. Yes, I had Ole Miss. Yes, it was a loser. Now, they also had a touchdown called back as a result of a holding call. They settled for a field goal on the 1 drive. Late in the game, they're trying to ice the game up by 7. There's a run down to the 5-yard line. There's more than 2 minutes left to go in the game. They're probably going to score another touchdown to go up by 14. That's called back by holding, settled for another field goal. But Kentucky, late in the game, they had to get a 38-yard pass to get in position. They were not going to kick a field goal. Stoops was not going to kick a field goal there, although that's the right play. Then Lane Kiffin for Ole Miss. The question here, why did you call a timeout? So then Stoops thought about it. Okay, now I can kick the field goal. We can go onside and try to get it. And then that's the proper play to kick it when you have time. But the only reason why Stoops kicked the field goal is because this guy said, okay, timeout here. Then as soon as the game, think about the time
What was
frame
the
here.
answer? Yeah, go ahead.
It's only a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
The game's over with. He goes on national TV to talk to the reporter after the game right away. First words out of his mouth. I'm sorry sorry to all the gamblers out there. So he knows he obviously knows the point spread. That's fine. Every coach does. But why are you taking a timeout? When it was quite obvious the other guy was not going to kick a field goal there. I'm totally baffled by this.
He did it at Florida Atlantic once, too. He took an intentional safety.
Yes, he did.
That affected the point spread. He said...
Then he took to Twitter and talked about it.
Tweeted on it. Yeah, tweeted about it. Sorry to all the gamblers.
I was absolutely disgusted by the guy.
Good, the bad, the ugly. Brought to you by sharpplays.com. It's every week something happens. Incredible. Oh, it was good.
Would you look at 14-1 on Oklahoma to win the SEC?
Yes. Love the quarterback. Defense looks good. There's a path there.
I think there might be.
Yep.
All right, we're going to hit the Monday Night Football game coming up next. It's only one game, but maybe yesterday's result means something for tonight. We shall discuss with touchdown props as well coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.